In this video, I'm just going to show you more of the epic blog post, or what I call an epic blog post. In the marketing world, in the blogging world, they call it pillar posts. But really, it's pretty simple what they are. They're just blog posts with a lot of content. So if you want, you can do small blog posts with not a huge amount, maybe 500 words or 1,000 words. But really what Google really loves is long content, anything over sort of 1,500 words. But I'm doing what I call a mega blog post, almost like an ebook. So it's almost like a product, an information product on its own. And I'm just coming to the end of that post now, and it's taken me several days to do, and going in and out. And I just thought I'd show you, first of all, how I got the idea for the post, and how I just go in there and kind of like I do a first draft first, and just get something in there, and then I just polish it up as I go. So I'm just going to show you my process. So here's the blog post. I'm using Elemental while I'm doing here, so I'm just going to show you the blog post. So 17 types of yoga, which yoga teacher training is best. So, and you'll see when you come down here, I'll keep on scrolling, but it's very, very long post. Keep on going, keep on going. So I've got to about 14 types. I've got about 3 more types to go. Each one takes me a few hours, maybe an hour or two, depending on what it is. So this blog post will have taken me, so there's 17 types, probably 2 hours each one that I'm doing. It's probably taken me in all, it's that just under 40 hours maybe of work there. So there it is. And just to show you, I use something called wordcounter.net, and I just pasted, currently what I've got at the moment is 6,573 words. So a normal long content, a blog post is about 1,500 words. That would be a good length post that Google likes. So anything over 1,500 words is even better, really. So I don't obviously do these types of really long posts all the time, because obviously that would just take way too long, and you don't need to. You just need a few of these on your site, and then just do the usual 1,500 words or 2,000 words. And sometimes you can go under that if you just want to do a quick post. But just know that if you do a short, anything under 1,000 words, you're going to struggle. Study after study shows, you do need to have some good content, and that content's got to be over 1,500 words. But if you feel, I do go under. I do go under 1,500 words sometimes. I go under 1,000 words sometimes. Sometimes I just want to get something out there. And it's not just all about the SEO. The blog posts are for human beings to read, and if it's just a very short post that you want to do about something, and that's what it requires, then sprinkle a few short posts within your site. But just know that if you want to get some really good SEO, you've got to do some long content posts. So I'm just going to show you now what I kind of do. So how do I've got to just move this, that's in my way. That's quite interesting. So let me just move out of here. Okay, so I've got to move out of there to get my so there. So I'm going to come back into here, open this up, and I'll just come back to there, and I'll keep that open. It's just got my Loom recording thing doesn't let me go through there. But that's a good point, actually. So Loom recording, I always used Camtasia. So I've got Camtasia on my Mac, and I've used that for years. But now I've gone over to Loom because it's so quick and easy to do the Loom videos. And anything that's quick and easy is good for an infopreneur. So as I come down here, I'm just going to show you. So I'm on my last one here. Or the last type that I've done. So what I do with again, I'm using Elementor, so I can go into that header, and I can just copy it, And I'm going to come down here, mouse over the top, the last bit, and click paste. And then what I do, what I'm trying to do here, here's the blog post. So there's lots of blog posts out there on types of yoga. So it's one of those broad searches that people do, you know, different types of yoga, and there's lots of web pages like this one out on the web, and they're all very, very basic, and they don't give a lot of information. And I thought, well, I can do a better job of that. So that's why I kind of saw this a few days ago, and I should have been doing some other blog posts, tutorial blog posts for the new site. But then I thought, no, this would be a really good broad blog post. So when I say broad, it will, you know, types of yoga will attract lots of student people who are interested in yoga as students, and also for teachers as well. So it'll attract a lot of visitors if I beat all the rest of them. I do a lot better, get more content, and it look a lot better. It will hopefully get to #1 on Google. So well, I'm here at this one here, but I don't want this one actually. So I've never heard of this one before. I know that's a type of yoga, but because I'm not used to that one, I'm going to give that a miss. But yeah, I've done some Vinny yoga classes, so I'm going to copy this one. So this, if I copied it verbatim, this would be plagiarism, and you should not do it, obviously. But I'm just showing. I'll just do this as first draft because I'm trying to beat to this post, and I'm just putting this in here, and then I do a first draft, and I go in and I change everything, change the text over. So there is becoming a video yoga teacher. So I'll scroll back up and I'll copy the text section, and then I need an image. So I'm going to come down here, click on that square thing up the top there. I'm not going to go into there's loads of videos on how to use Elementor, so I'm not going to describe what I'm kind of doing here. There's tons and tons of videos, so if you do get a WordPress site and you use Elementor plugin for your builder, you'll within an hour you'll be an expert, because it's pretty easy. It's just drag and drop. So I'm looking for the image one, so I'm going to drag that in. I could have copied the image above, but I kind of like dragging the images one in. And what I do now is I'm going to go onto Google, and I need to find an image. So I've got I'm going to come into here, and I'm going to copy what sort of images there are. I'm going to go into Google, type that in, and just see what kind of images show up for that type of yoga. And I'm going to try to find a royalty-free image that I can use in the post. So while I'm doing this, I'm going to pause, and I'll find an image, and I'll come back. Okay, so Vinny Yoga is the gentle form of yoga, and they do a bit of meditation in the class. So I've gone to a royalty-free images site called pexels.com, and I've just typed in meditation into the search bar, and all these have popped up for me. So as I look down here, I quite like, it's quite nice sometimes to have it's usually always women, so you see a bloke in there, so that's quite good. So I'm going to download that one. Let's come into here, and we'll go. Okay, so I've downloaded that image and I've put it into my Bookом. This is my site, so I've got a folder. Whenever I set up a site, I have a folder full of stuff that I put things in to keep it organised. So there's that free image. So I'm going to go in here, click open with, and I will edit this image. So I usually, for this site, I'm going to go image. I never change anything normally. I'll just go image size and just change the image size because that's just way too big. So I change it to that size because that's that'll go all the way across the site for most devices, so I'm okay with that width. Click OK, and then what I normally do, or what I always do, is go click Save for Web, and I use medium and optimized, and that makes it nice and small, but also makes it look, doesn't make it look too small. And then I always change the name to. So if I come out of that, I've downloaded that. So the name is. I want to, because that gives me a little free when they're searching for images. If I name that image that, it will show up in Google. So when I come here, I'm going to go File here. Let's go here. So I'm going to go File, Save, and I'm going to save that as. No, I didn't do that. So let me just pause. So there's the title, and I'm going to click Save. So that's saved to my document there. I'll get rid of this one here. So that's the original. I don't really need that anymore. So that goes in my bin. And I just come into the site, click on the image, and I'm going to click Upload, and I'm going to upload that image there. And also important just to tidy this up here. So that's again for SEO and also for people. So the alt tag, if they mouse over it, you know what it is. I'll just put that in the description as well for SEO, and then click Insert, and there's the image. So what I now generally do, because Vinny Yoga is, so I want to get rid of yoga because it's Vinny Yoga Teacher. Generally I don't do any editing, I just get the content in and then I edit afterwards. So Vinny Yoga is very similar to, it's a gentle form of yoga. So what I tend to do now is I'll look through a similar yoga. So restorative yoga is I'd say quite similar to Vinny Yoga. So I'm going to copy this one because I don't want to reinvent the wheel. I want to keep it as easy as possible. So right click and paste. So I'm pasting that in there. And now obviously what I've got to do is come in here and I've got to change the text here. So what I'll do is, again, I'm not going to plagiarize. It may look like plagiarizing. So I'm going to go into here and just to get some content in that I can then erase and change. I get the content from here, click copy, and I will go back in the site. When it says suitable for, that's okay. I can keep that the same because restorative yoga is pretty much the same, very, very similar to this type of yoga. So I'm going to keep the suitable for as identical to there. I'm going to keep the difficulty about the same as well. Don't need to change there. I do need to change all this. I've got to change I've got to Google teaching organisations. So I've seen a mistake there. So that's got chair in there. So I've got to change this up here to Vinny Yoga. So that's Vinny Yoga. But then, because I've seen that mistake, I've got to go back up to here, restorative yoga, and I've got to change that here. So again, I copied this. So it doesn't have to be perfect. It's still kind of first draft. So restorative. That's fine. So I've got that. Let me scroll down. And I come down here, and what I'll do, because this requires me finding some yoga teacher training organisations. I'll do one of them just to show you. So if I just come in here, I've got a copy. I'll just go copy that, and I'm coming into Google, finding some teacher training organisations. It's not doing anything. Let's see if we can give it another go. There it is. And we go, let's have a look at the first one. Vinny Yoga, that's always a good sign. I always have a bit of a look to make sure that it's legit and it's okay, because I don't want to put anything that Yeah, so I'm quite happy with that one. That's a good one. So I will copy that link, go back into my here. Let's go paste, and I tend to get rid of that. I'll capitalize that, get rid of that, and I'll put the link in here. Here's the link. Paste that in, put it on the thing. I want this to open up into a new tab. If I don't, that's really important. If you put any link to an outside website and you don't do this, they'll go away from your website and you'll lose them probably forever and ever, amen. So you definitely want to make sure that you open the link in a new tab. Click update. So I'm not going to do any more, but I'll generally go and do that for trying to find several teaching organisations and organise them from A to Z. And I then go in and start editing the text. So I'm going to change this here. What is Vinny Yoga? And what I do here is I will maybe just lengthen this a little bit. I will get rid of this here and that text here. So again, I'm just doing this as a not to plagiarise, but to get something in very quickly. So I get all that in here, and then I'll then research a few more sites, because I've been a yoga teacher for over a decade. I'm pretty, I'm not an expert in all these types, obviously, but I've got a good sort of rounded knowledge. So I can now go into that text there, and I will spend about 10-20 minutes changing this up. Otherwise, if it's plagiarism, Google will know. Obviously, ethically, you don't want to do it, but also Google has got artificial intelligence, and they will know if you're just copying text from another website and just plagiarizing, and they will slap you hard, as they should do. So I'm only doing this to show you very quickly how to get content for your website, and you can get it from other sites, but definitely don't plagiarize. I will kind of change this up quite a bit as I'm going. So, and then same thing, I will then put what I think the top positive is for this type of yoga. Also same thing for the negative, and I will give my thoughts on this as well, a bit of a conclusion. And then what I have at the end of each one is a bit of a shameless plug, I call it. And again, I see a mistake here, and I'm going to change that up the top. So that's a shameless plug, and I got this from the chair yoga one. So I'm just going to go, let me increase that. I'm going to just go up to the top here. Let me just get that over there. So I'm going to go back up to the restorative one here. So that was restorative, and here I've got to change this to restorative yoga. So the shameless plug is this new information product that I'm setting up is a membership site software. And I've also got another membership site software that's got a software on it, which is a yoga lesson planner. And so my shameless plug here at the end of each of these types, I give a shameless plug to my yoga planner. So try to get some people potentially, once I've given them lots of good content that they like, they're more willing to maybe go to my site and sign up to be a member there. So that's what I got there. So I've got to now edit up this. I'm not going to do that now, but just wanted to show you the process that I go through. So it's really kind of like writing a book. You just get something out there. So what I've done by copying and pasting this is kind of like my first draft and getting the content out there. And then I'll go in and I'll maybe get some other websites up for Vinny Yoga and take some bits from different sites and change the wording up. So again, back to the thing of definitely don't plagiarize. And so that's my process. So after this, so this will be the mindset of this is that this is kind of like an ebook. So the reason why you, again, like I said at the beginning of this video, this is a very long, epic blog post. And the reason for this is because Google, this will be maybe a reference for a lot of students or teachers will kind of use this, and they'll spend a lot of time on this as well. So Google likes it when someone spends a lot of time on a post. That normally means that it's an authoritative post. So the longer you can get someone staying on the post, Google loves that, and they'll get you higher ranking. So that's really the main reason why Google ranks pages with posts with long amount of content. So if I go back to this word count here, probably by the end of this post, it will probably be 8,000 words. So that's that's an ebook size there. So in my mind, instead of so I could have created this as an ebook and maybe sold it for £9, 17 types of yoga explained and my thoughts, blah blah blah, and that is really essentially a PDF document that I could sell. But I'm using this as obviously a very long blog post instead, to get lots of good SEO. And I'll probably do. I'll be pretty knackered after finishing this one, and I'll go back to doing shorter ones. If I just show you another one here, so this is a typical post. So this is one of the other posts on my site. So if I copy all the text here and I show you how much we got, this is a kind of a tutorial post on how to use the information product. So it's not really a informational post, it's a tutorial. So if I paste it in there, and you can see how many words, that's just under 1,000 words. So that would be, if that was a normal post and I'm giving a tip or some sort of wisdom, and it wasn't a tutorial post, I'd definitely want to get that past the 1,500 words in order to get some good SEO on that post. But because that's really, if I go back to this, it's just a how to use it. So it's a tutorial for the product, one aspect of the product. So it's a tutorial on how to set up staff within Bookhomme. It's not really a blog post, it's just a tutorial, but I'll still get, if people searching for Bookhomme and staff, it'll get a bit of traffic to it. So I hope that helps. This, to really recap, this video was just to really show you a whirlwind tour of how I do a blog post, how I do these epic blog posts as well that have 8,000 words or so. And the reason why I do that, which I said before, is it's the long content, it's really good for SEO, and just to get you out of the perfectionist mindset of you just get the content in and do what I said before, and then you just start editing it. So this is the content that I've taken from another website. I'm going to polish that up and definitely change things up. I might not use a lot, hardly any of this. So it just gets me writing, if you know what I mean. For a writer, just gets you going. And I'll definitely go to a few other websites to see what anyone else is saying about Yoga and add that in and change up the wording a bit. Again, I'm back to that word again, never plagiarize. You will get slapped by Google, and it's unethical, so don't do it. But it's not unethical for me to go on. You might say, well, someone's already done a post similar to this, and it's perfectly ethical and right even to go in and think, oh no, I could do a better job than that. I'm going to create another post that has more, something better to offer, and that's perfectly ethical. There's lots of blog posts on here on types of yoga. Lots of websites have done this type of post. So in my mindset, like I said before, I'm just my goal for this post is to make it the best, and to make it so good that if anyone else comes along to this and sees this, and they're a competitor of mine, they'll think, well, this guy's this guy's, you know, hit a home run. There's no way I can possibly compete for the keyword, and the keyword I'm trying to compete for here is types of yoga teacher training. So instead of types of yoga, I'm doing, like, my permalink is types of yoga teacher training, because my target market is yoga teachers, not yoga students. So so yeah, I hope that helps, and yeah, good luck with your infopreneuring.